Greetings everyone and welcome to Collector Corps. Today we're going to be looking at the Marvel Legends series, Marvel Studios, Disney Plus, Loki, Marvel's Mobius, and the Build-A-Figure, Marvel's The Watcher. All the same stuff that I just said for Mobius, Marvel's Sylvie. And obviously, these are from different waves. Mobius, I'm going to call him Mobius throughout this, I'm very sorry about that, is a individual figure. He doesn't have any Build-A-Figure parts, he's not part of a Build-A-Figure wave, he's just an individual solo release, whereas Sylvie is part of the Watcher wave, and yeah, I don't normally combine figures that aren't from the same wave into one review, unless they're part of, like, a connected series or something, and in this case, obviously, they're both Loki figures. I was taken aback by the quality and how much I just enjoyed the actual Loki from the previous the previous Disney Plus wave, should I say. And, yeah, I need more people to go with him in the display. So, Marvel's Mobius, Marvel's Sylvie. I'm not sure which one to go with first. You know what? I'll be quite honest. I'm less excited for Mobius. Let's get into him first. I will just say, though, quickly before I get into the actual figure, I really like the artwork that they have for this. I really wish I had my Loki box still, but this art is really good. It's unique for, the Loki figures, Loki characters, and, yeah, I really like it. I think it's a really good, it's almost like a painting version of each actor. I really appreciate that. It's the same for Loki box, I just don't have it. But yeah, let's get into Mobius. And getting Mobius out of the packaging, I mean, what else is there to say other than it is Owen Wilson, Mobius, in a suit? That's not necessarily a complaint, that is his entire look from the show. But especially when we've had Loki, who's essentially the same thing, not complete reuse, I will get into that. I can't help but just look at this and be like, it's a little bit boring, Just getting into something that I do like, though, I think the face printing is phenomenal. It's Owen Wilson in tiny toy form, and it just looks so good. I love the hair. I wish there was a little bit more of a wash than there actually is, just to bring out some of the detail, but it is very well sculpted. If it does look very obvious that it's part of a separate piece, but even so, it just looks like Owen Wilson. It's brilliant. I like the design on the tie. It's very basic, but it is there. You don't have any sort of, TVA branding on it, which is kind of unfortunate. It's very plain, but overall, it's very good. I like the shoes. They're very nice, different colour. They stand out on the actual figure. And, yeah, there's not really much else to say about it aesthetically. I believe it is the Coulson body. I don't have any other versions of the Coulson body to hand, so I don't know for sure. Yeah, I like the belt design, actually. That's pretty good. But yeah, it's a very basic figure. It looks great. And in comparisons, I'll show how good it looks against Loki himself. But yeah, aesthetically, it's a guy in a suit. Looks great for what it is. It's just a little bit of a boring design overall, but that's not the fault of the toy, that's the fault of the show. Going over articulation, starting at the head, we have a ball going into a joint. I'm really messing up recently with what things are called. But yeah, that allows for... it's a little bit tough, but it does allow for a little bit of forward. Not great. And then a decent amount of back. I'm actually quite a fan of that. That is actually a lot, to be fair. Then you do have tilt, which is always appreciated. It's not the most, but you can get a little bit of a, sideways tilt. And I do quite like that. At the torso, we do have a... I forgot what this is called. Dumbbell joint? I can't remember. But that does allow for forward crunch, back crunch. It's stopped a little bit by the traffic cone of the jacket, but it's still pretty good. And then side to side, you can get a bit of hula hooping action. You do have rotation at the waist. It does break the sculpt a little bit, but it's a nice option to have. It does work. At the shoulders, we have... Wow, that's disappointing. About 45 out. We've got full rotation. We've got swivel at the bicep, which pretty standard stuff. We've got full elbow. That's actually really good. Double elbow, obviously. We have side to side at the wrist, which I don't really have an issue with this, but it is a weapon holding hand technically. I would have preferred up and down, but Yeah, I can deal with that. That's fine by me. At the leg we have out. Not great, but not bad. Forward, pretty good. You can do some high kicks. A little bit of back, not great, but it's there. Swivel at the thigh, pretty useful. We've got double knee, goes most of the way up. You can get running poses, that's good enough for me. Then at the ankle, we have back, forward, and then forward-facing pin for rocker. So overall, pretty standard articulation, but it works. And he does stand, as long as I flatten his feet. I haven't done that. He should stand pretty easily. I say that. I stood him up pretty easily to begin with, and now I'm struggling a little bit. He's getting his feet flat, because they aren't perfect. He has a little bit of a heel. Can I stand him up? Okay, well, in that case, I can't stand him up, so he can't stand very easily. I was wrong. Come on, I want him to stand now. There we go. Well, I got him to stand up. He's leaning a little bit. It's not ideal. I'm sure there's plenty of ways you can get him to actually stand up properly. I just don't have the patience for it, honestly. Going over accessories, and I'm really sorry, it has been a little while since I've watched Loki, but there is is it called a temp pad? And that folds out to give you a little screen, which is pretty nice. It's very well detailed. The paint is really nice, the sculpting is really good, and that just closes up like so, and you can fit that into, I guess, this hand? Neither of them are really sculpted for it, but yeah, that works pretty well. I like that. It's well sized, it works. And then the other accessory, if I can just place Mobius over there, is the stun baton, the elimination baton, the baton. The piece of wood with metal on it that is used to send people into the end of time. That's the gist of it. And once again, I really like the details of this. It's just black, gold, and brown, but works pretty well, looks right, and that just fits right into Mobius's hand, like so. And yeah, I do wish it was up and down hinge, but overall, he's not a really active character in the grand scheme. He doesn't use the baton too much, so yeah, it works for me, and it can also be used for other characters, which is always a benefit to having an accessory that is very universal. And for comparisons, we of course have the Captain America Build-A-Figure Wave Loki from the same show, and then just to have some bucket cap in here, we have the is it the House of M? I can't even remember. Is it the Tri-Sentinel Wave Cyclops? Yeah, I think it works pretty well. He's a little bit shorter than Tom Hiddleston, which makes a lot of sense. After all, as well, Loki is an Asgardian. He should be a little bit taller. Yeah, I'm very happy with this. It works for me. And then for mixed display, we have the Star Wars Black Series Stormtrooper, first version, battle damaged, and the Jazzwares Fortnite Legendary Series Fish Stick, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Works well for that. And now, moving on to Sylvie, I will definitely say this was the figure of the two that I was so much more, wanting, so much more interested in, and I'll be completely honest, in person, I'm almost disappointed, and I'll get into that, but first off, I'll just go over what I really do like. Once again, the likeness here is brilliant. I love the hair, the wash on it is really nice, the actual shaping to it, the sculpting looks really good. The upper torso looks phenomenal. I love the colours on it, the greens, the golds, the bronze. It just looks great. My biggest issue comes with the lower half. Why is this so plain? And I may be missing something. As I say, it's been a little while since I've watched Loki through. Why is this a different colour? This is a blue, whereas this is it's the same darkish purple that you see across the rest of the figure. I don't remember her having, the Superman underwear over the trousers look. It looks a little bit odd. I do, however, quite like the boots. They are pretty well done. I really like the design on those. I just seriously think that there's something missing from the legs, and I'm assuming these are probably reused, though they are pinless. I'm not really sure. I don't recognise them from anything, but that is really bugging me. The fact that, obviously, that isn't even a separate piece from the rest of the torso. Why is it a different colour, though? Why isn't it painted to match that? And I understand it does appear to be the same colour blue that is used up here, but surely that's not the design, right? I might be going mad. I do like the fingers gloves, though. They are just painted on. I think it's the same on both hands. Yeah, they are just painted on, though that does seem to be... Okay, this hand might actually have it properly, and then this hand is just painted on. It's hard to tell. This one doesn't seem to have the sculpt on it. But in any case, I like the horns. The broken one is pretty good. The actual spiky one's there. It looks good overall. I don't know. From the waist down, it just doesn't seem to look quite right. But overall, I'm still pretty happy with the figure. Let's get into articulation. And starting at the neck, we do have a ball going up into the head. Allows for forward, back, pretty good, though the hair is short, so it does make sense. And then look how much tilt you can get out of this. That is the great thing about the dumbbell joint. It allows for so much extra movement. Of course, there is swivel as well. Looks great. At the body, we have crunch. It's alright. Crunch back. Yeah. But you do have the, hula-hooping action. Pretty good overall. Nothing at the waist, unfortunately. At the arm, we have out. A little bit less than 90. Not ideal. Swivel all the way around. Perfect. Single elbow goes, past 90. It's alright for a single elbow. And then at the arm, we have side to side for the fist. And I'm going to just quickly check now, actually. It is up and down for the trigger finger. So, they are actually learning. It's good to see. At the leg, we have out. We have forward. We have back is blocked a little bit. But swivel at the thigh, pretty good. Double knee. That was tough. There we go. Pretty good. Kicks her own ass. Very nice. And then something that I wasn't actually expecting to happen. We do actually have swivel at the boot. It's not often we actually see that. We see sculpted boots a lot and don't actually see the swivel boot cut. But yeah, very cool. Then forward, back, and forward facing pin for a rocker. So yeah, easy enough to stand up as well. I mean, she's not even... Actually, let me just move the camera down. She's not actually even stood properly on the left foot. You can see that's slightly raised up. She still stands pretty well. Those boots are really good. I'm a fan of this. I'm very happy with how this turned out. For accessories, Sylvie comes with a open palm, magic wielding, I guess, left hand and a fist right hand. And then 2 identical trigger finger / weapon holding hands, which... pretty good. I quite like having that option. And the fact that they are both up and down hinge, very, very good. For those weapon holding hands, you get this blade, which has some really nice detail on the handle, has some Asgardian text or something, or maybe it's just the Made in China stamp, I can't quite tell. But yeah, looks nice, has a nice pearlescence to it. Just generally looks pretty good, and then fits into the hand pretty well. I'm not sure if Sylvie is left or right-handed, but yeah, that works pretty good for me. I quite like that. And then you may have seen it at the start of the video, but you do also get this cloak, which is very much a hard candy shell, but does just fit over the figure like so. And honestly, it looks great. It looks really nice, but it also completely removes most of the articulation. So, swings and roundabouts, it's painted really well. I think it does actually complete the look in a lot of ways. It's got a nice bright green on the hood. Detailing is pretty good. I like the little latches there, which they were painted though, the buttons. It's just, it kind of blocks the articulation. It's a traffic cone. It still looks good though, and yeah, it really does complete the figure. And then for comparisons, we have that same Loki and same Cyclops. Once again, really like this. I do almost feel like she should be a little bit taller, a bit closer to Hiddleston's height, but I know that isn't accurate, so it still works pretty well. And then, of course, Stormtrooper and Fishstick once more. Once again, works pretty well. And finally, comparing the 2 figures from this review, this works really well. I think Owen Wilson is actually a bit taller than this in reality. But once again, Asgardian, expected to be a little bit taller. I'm perfectly happy with this. I think it works really well, and especially with Loki in the middle there, if I can get him to stand up, there we go. That works so well, in my opinion. That is so good. I'm so happy I picked up both of these figures. It's the Loki display. It looks great. I love it. And on that note, that is going to be it for this review. I'm really happy with these figures. I think they look great together. I think they look great with the Loki. And overall, it fills the gap that I needed to just fill with a Loki collection. Hopefully we get a few more characters. There are plenty that I want to see in Marvel Legends form in the future. I guess we'll see with Loki Season 2. But yeah, that's going to be it for this review. Thanks for watching. If you did like it, make sure to like it, subscribe if you're new around here, ring that bell so you never miss an upload. I get a new review every Tuesday and Friday. And if you subscribe, you'll see them and everything else I put up throughout the week on your homepage. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. And hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. And yeah. Bye!